What is going on, y'all? FaizSportsTalk back at it with another video, and it's time to do some rankings. Yes, that's right. I haven't done one of these videos in quite some time, so I thought, why not now? So if you are new to the channel, guys, welcome. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe. A lot of you guys that watch these videos have not subscribed, so I urge you to do so because I do talk a lot of NFL on this channel. You don't want to miss out. I do a lot of videos every single week, daily uploads. So again, make sure you are subscribed and make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms. Links is always down below on the screen for that. So you see on the board behind me, we got top 10 NFL quarterbacks for 2020, and I'm going to rank them. All right. Yes, that's right. I'm going to rank them from 10 all the way to number 1. And here's the thing. I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time now. Okay. And every time I'd want to do it, Sunday would come around and basically the quarterback that I would have ranked lower would have a really good game. So now I'm thinking I got to rank him higher, right? And the quarterback that I would have ranked higher would play poorly. Now I got to move him down. So I thought, you know what? Let's just wait until like the end of the season or near the end of the season. And that's kind of where we're at right now. Okay. So that's why I thought perfect time now. The season's pretty much over. Let's do it. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's get started. All right, so here we go. I'm going to start at number 10 and, like I mentioned, go all the way up to number 1. Now, at number 10, I don't have just one name. I have a couple names. And immediately you guys might be thinking, Faiz, you can't do that. You can't cheat by putting multiple names. Now, here's the thing, okay? I will tell you between those names who I would pick out of those 3. But why do I have them grouped together? It's because I wouldn't argue somebody who said that they thought this guy was better than him. And that's kind of where I feel like a lot of people try to box things and say it has to be one or the other. It's either black or it's white. It's one or two. There's no gray area. And that's not necessarily true. There is a gray area and there is a way to say that two things can both be true. So let me explain. At number 10, I've got 3 guys that I mentioned, or I didn't mention, I should say. I've got Matt Stafford, I've got Matt Ryan, and I've got Ryan Tannehill. Okay? 3 guys here. Now, why do I have them grouped together is because what I just said is if you said Matt Ryan is better than Stafford and Tannehill, you can make that argument. I think you have a legitimate argument. If you think Ryan Tannehill is better than Matt Stafford and Matt Ryan, you can make that argument. Same thing with Stafford. So to me, they're so close that it's hard for me to omit them. And sometimes one plays better than the other. So obviously this season, Ryan Tannehill's had the best year. But I think overall, if we were just not just looking at this season only, but overall, I think these guys are really that close. Now, remember, I told you, if you asked me to pick, put a gun in my head, who would I take? I would probably take Matt Stafford, but it's close. So there you go. That's why I would have at number 10. Moving on to number 9. Again, I have 2 guys, but I'm not going to do this for the rest of the list. This is only at the bottom part because it's just so hard, folks. There's like so many guys that are on the border here that I want to, include, but again, it's hard to. So at number 9, I've got Big Ben and Drew Brees. Again, 2 names, right? So if you ask me, who I think is better between these 2, I'd probably say Big Ben Roethlisberger because Drew Brees has lost a lot of his arm strength and he is, I don't want to say washed, but he is, certainly getting there. The age is catching up to him and he hasn't had the best season. And this is a guy who would be a top 5 quarterback in normal years, right? Or I should say normal times. But Drew Brees, we know, has not been that guy this season. And so when I take a look at Drew Brees, I have to knock him down here. Ben Roethlisberger has been, inconsistent. Even though the Steelers have had a lot of success early on, Big Ben Roethlisberger has been a little up and down here. And both these quarterbacks don't have any mobility, but they do have the intangibles, the clutch factor, what these other quarterbacks don't have, right? These quarterbacks have not won anything, but that's because I think intangibles plays a part in it as well, being clutch, having that factor there. That's what these guys have done throughout their career, and that's why they've won Super Bowls. Okay, I'm not saying that's the end-all, be-all, but I am saying that's why I would put these guys above them. All right, so now let's move on to 8, and here's where I'm going to start separating. Okay, I only got one name here. I don't have multiple ones. I have at number 8 Lamar Jackson. Okay. Again, I can already hear people saying, oh my God, you have Lamar Jackson, last year's MVP, all the way down at number 8. Yeah, I do. Look, Lamar Jackson has had a fine season. It certainly has not been anything close to his MVP season, but the reason I have Lamar Jackson low, or this low, is because he, to me, has not progressed as a pocket passer like I would have liked for him to. If you force Lamar Jackson to throw the football, he is beatable. He will make mistakes. If you make him just sit, if you let Lamar Jackson run, I mean, as a runner, he is better than every single quarterback on this list. He's the best running quarterback in the NFL, period. Okay? So, for that reason, I have him here because, like I said, when playoff time comes around, when you got to make key throws and you can't run because teams are game planning for you, this is obviously what happened with Cam Newton a couple years ago after he won MVP. I'm not saying Lamar's headed down that path, but I am saying that this league figures you out quick. And so Lamar Jackson, because he hasn't progressed as a passer, at least this season, I got to knock him down here. And I'm sorry, there's just other guys that take over him. And I'll tell you who those are, okay? And let's go with number 7, the guy who I have above him, Kyler Murray. And it's funny because Kyler Murray also is best attribute is his legs, right? He is so quick. I would argue, Lamar Jackson has the straight line speed, but could I say Kyler Murray's quicker? Like just in terms of, like getting out of the burst? I mean, you could make that argument. So Kyler Murray, I have him above Lamar Jackson because I think he's a better pocket passer. And that to me puts him ahead. It's close. Again, you can make the argument that you would take Lamar, but I think Kyler's a little bit better because of the pocket passer, stance and his ability there to throw the football. And we all know he's got an arm. So to me, that's why I've got Kyler there over Lamar. But again, it is close. All right, here we go. Moving on to number 6. And I already know I'm going to get ripped apart for this. I'm ready for it. Let's talk about it, okay? Because, you guys might not like this one. At number 6, I've got Josh Allen. Okay, put the pitchforks down. Let's talk about it, okay? I don't hate Josh Allen. I'm not a Josh Allen hater. Josh Allen right now is probably third in MVP voting if the voting took place right now. And not probably, he would be, okay? And you can make the argument probably second behind Aaron Rodgers. And the other guy in the conversation would be obviously Patrick Mahomes. But hear me out, okay? This has less to do with Josh Allen and more to do with the guys that I would take above him. You probably know some of the guys that I'll probably take above him, but hear me out. Here's the thing with Josh Allen. Phenomenal season. Phenomenal. Like I just said, he could finish second in MVP voting. I feel like Josh Allen is one guy who's proved me wrong a lot. And this season's a perfect example of that. He has really improved as a pocket passer. I used to think Josh Allen was just like a headless chicken just running around. He's got a big arm. He's just, jacking past. Like, that's it. But this season, like, playing within the confines of the offense, still running whenever he needs to. It's not like he's abandoned his legs completely. But for the most part, Josh Allen has been phenomenal. So I will give him his due and his credit. The only reason he's outside my top 5 is because these guys that I have, I would still take right now at this very moment if you give me a game to have a quarterback in over Josh Allen. But he's getting up there. He's getting up there. If he keeps his play up again, this is the first time we've seen Josh Allen do this, right? Before this year, he wasn't even a top 10 quarterback. I'd argue he was maybe, bottom 15, maybe, in that 15 to 20 range. So he's made a massive leap. I'll give him credit, but again, not over the guys I have here. And let's talk about who I have over him. At number 5, I've got Tom Brady, right? So Tom Brady, look, everybody wants to just, say Tom Brady, it's over, whatever. Folks, the man is still putting up major numbers, like 36 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, something crazy like that. I think 34 to 36. He's broke the passing touchdown record for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's his first year. We're talking about a guy, again, it is Tom Brady, but coming into the season, no offseason, no OTAs, nothing. And he's able to just, rip teams apart. And here's the thing. You could say, okay, Josh Allen is better than Tom Brady because Josh Allen is mobile and Brady isn't. And that gives him the advantage. But come playoff time, Okay, we're talking about playoff, right? What's the name of the game? It's to win, all right? Winning football in playoff time, you still have to be accurate and effective from the pocket. So I will still always value a pocket passing quarterback over a dual threat quarterback. If the dual threat one is more accurate than the pocket passer one, that obviously that's fine. But Tom Brady, to me, is still obviously a better pocket passer than Josh Allen. And to me, I think he is still slightly better than Josh Allen at this time. I would take Tom Brady right now over Josh Allen. You want to throw his age out there, all that stuff, that's fine, folks. But the numbers don't lie. He has been phenomenal this season. He's made the Bucs into a Super Bowl contender. I get it. He's got a lot of talent around him, but so does Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs is phenomenal too, right? So to me, I take Tom Brady. All right, so let's move on now to number 4. And here's the thing. I don't think I have to talk much about these ranges because there really shouldn't be much argument here. These are the 4 best quarterbacks in football. I think without a doubt, you wouldn't argue with the top 3. So let's just get it over with, folks, okay? Number 4 is Deshaun Watson. I mean, come on now. We're talking about a guy who brings both accuracy and mobility. If Deshaun Watson had a competent coach, competent team around him, he'd be going 12-4, 11-5 every single season. He's literally, early Matt Stafford with the Lions, right? Where you're just around an incompetent organization. Deshaun Watson's extremely talented. There isn't a single thing he can do on the football field. He is phenomenal, okay? Number 3, Russell Wilson. All right, this is a guy who was my pick for MVP. Yes, he's not going to win the MVP, but in the first half of the year, he was the favorite for the MVP award. And I love Russell Wilson. Again, another dual threat quarterback, can make every throw on the football field. I used to think he was so underrated, but I think he gets his due now, and certainly, obviously, because early in the season he was the MVP favorite. I just wish Seattle would let him throw more. They love running the football, but when you have a Ferrari, why are you not using it? And that's the problem with the Seattle Seahawks. But Russell Wilson, he's phenomenal. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it, all right? Number 2 and number 1. Now, hear me out. I'm just going to put both of them down here, but we will talk about it. We know it's Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. All right, so let me write that. So, Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP this season. There's no doubt about it. If you are a Patrick Mahomes fan, I'm sorry. Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the world, but Aaron Rodgers had a better season. So, this happens all the time. LeBron James is the best basketball player in the world, but Giannis has had better seasons, so that's why he's won the MVP. That doesn't mean one guy's, better than the other. Now, here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers at number 2 over Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I think both of them can do anything on the field. I mean, they're the 2 of the most talented quarterbacks I've ever seen play football. And here's the difference. Tom Brady is the most successful quarterback. That doesn't mean he's the most talented. That doesn't mean he is you can say he's the best in terms of success, but talent-wise, we know Patrick Mahomes does things with the football that we've never seen anybody do. And Aaron Rodgers, same thing. So to me, it's 1 and 2. It's not close. I think there's a big drop-off there, though I do think Russell Wilson deserves some credit. But the reason I'm putting Patrick Mahomes above Aaron Rodgers is, folks, Patrick Mahomes is doing this at this young age. Just imagine what he's going to be. Has he even hit his prime yet? Like, this is just scary, scary stuff, folks. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me right now, like, most talented quarterback, yeah, Patrick Mahomes. But, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, it's so tough. I wish I could just say 1A, 1B, but I don't think you'll find any argument with anyone saying these are the 2 best in the world. So there you have it, folks, my top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL in 2020. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.